Hey, what's happening, my people? I'm still a wreck. I'm processing through this whole thing. Been crying a lot. I hope none of you parents ever have to feel what this feels like, to lose a child in this manner. But if you do whatever you can to not make it about you. Know that there was a little person suffering in a way that you can't quite understand. And I've never been able to understand that. You know, I can understand. I can step in at the abyss of what it might be to be suicidal. There's plenty of times where I'd felt like I want to leave this place, but that hopelessness, that the best option I got is this, and I'm taking it. I can't get there, and I'm happy about that. It is a predisposed condition that I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't know it. Vinny, he was an honest kid. Too honest. He was the better version of me. Still had innocence. He was autistic, high functioning on the spectrum, but autistic. Very matter of fact in the way he dealt with life. Very smart, and it's what he wanted, you know. Like, and I can't say that I don't blame him for not wanting to be in this fucked up world. He wasn't a fighter, you know. He doesn't have that fight in him like I did. And for him, it was we talked, you know, at great length, a lot. He got more disconnected as he got older, because I think he's carried this plan with him. And I was supposed to go to his graduation ceremony on Friday. I think he just wanted to graduate because he knew it was important, and not because school's important. Parents, quit lying to your fucking kids and telling them that if they just get good grades, keep their head down, stay out of trouble, that they're going to be okay. They're not. The world we're walking our kids into right now, not me, I'm doing something different, is shit. And we have to do something about it. And Vinny knew that. Vinny backed me on this. So did Sophia. They both backed me. I asked him, I said, do we take this $1 million that's on the table right now and buy the scumbags out of the company? And do we do that? Do we fold or we fight? Again, I explained to him why I felt I could win this and why it was important to me to go down this road for their futures and for the future of their generations, and for the people who get abused by this corporate bullshit language every fucking day, and can't seem to get out of this rut. I felt it was important. I felt I was being called for it. Now more than ever, I know that it's mine. It's my fight. And Sophia and Vinny backed me. And within 15 seconds, they looked at me. They said, "Dad, we fight." I said, "Let's pack it up." And it's been that ever since. And I am happy that he didn't see me let up. He's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. I wish he could have seen the after effect. Here's what I know. I made a commitment with my life to do this, and to give me equanimity and liberty or give me death. I didn't think it was going to kill him. You can measure the wellness of a society based on the wellness of its children. We're fucked. This is, they tried to medicate, and at least he got to live life, and he didn't have his brain waves quashed. He was able to grow and experience it for the time he wanted to. And he got nothing but love. Poor, that's what he knew. That's what he knew, is that his dad committed to something that was going to give Sophia and him the better future. Vinny was pretty selfless. And I think what he did, I mean, it was a matter of circumstance. You know, this is what happens in a society that medicates or over-medicates their children and adults, that treats symptoms, lets pharmaceutical companies run rampant. Psychotropics prescribed like candy. They tried to do it to Vinny. When you take away the ability of a child to grow normally and to be able to discern what is human and what is not, you take away human life. And now you have a bunch of people that are just existing, which is perfect for what they want. A land of zombies is essentially, this is going according to plan for someone. Vinny knew it. Vinny knew it. He knew what I was fighting for. He probably knew it better than anybody else. If a system can take away a father from an innocent father, I never committed a crime. Money was stolen from me. My company was stolen from me. And I stepped into that court to fight for what was ours on truth. I stepped in there with truth, with proof. They stepped in there with nothing. And I got to see how foul the system is. I learned to use their court record. Everything that they've done, it's on court record. It's a matter of time. They've made an attempt on my life. And they got Vinny. If a system can break up a family like that for no reason, when all proof to the contrary of what this judge, this foul-ass judge, and these attorneys are saying, the system is broken beyond repair. And that's what it did. That's what it did. And these pieces of shit at United Restoration Disaster Services and Maddin Hauser, they had intimate details of my PTSD therapy. They knew the things that broke me in the past. They did systematically, one step along the way, for every turn, they would take something else away that would prevent me from defending myself or taking care of my children. And that's why we had to make the choice to walk away from the house. It was either I just go kill it at another company and smash them another way, right? All ego, or I fight for what's right and I change the system. And I know that was a gamble, but it's paid off. But has it? The life of my son? Before any of this happened, he wanted to leave. You know, he's too honest. He's way too honest. And he can't understand why the world is the way it is. You know, he cared so much about people. Cared so much, and we had deep conversations. He knew what he was doing. But I know to be the best father I could be, I had to become a deep study on trauma, how the brain works, and I'm a nerd with it. You know what I mean? When I get passionate about something, like I did with the insurance industry, how I took them on and I continue to win to this day. I approached autism when I learned his diagnosis. I approached PTSD when I recognized the pattern. I was able to reverse engineer it. This should have broke me. Flatline me. I should be in a pool of fucking vomit or blood right now. But I'm here, feeling it, showing it, not trying to hide it, keeping it real. Eyes puffy as fuck. Can't stop crying to save my life. But I'm grateful I can feel it, because if I can process this properly, I can turn it into a superpower. And that's what I told Vinny in his first attempt. I said, look, nobody says we're not supposed to have to go through this. And it doesn't hold any less true, because the worst pain possible had to happen. We're supposed to go through this. he's in a better place now. That I know. Whatever suffering was going on, whatever darkness. And he wasn't a dark kid, but there was something about this world that just, he reminds me of Kurt Cobain and the way Kurt Cobain left. I just can't be around this. It's just too fake, you know? And Vinny couldn't stand that fake shit. Couldn't stand it. If Sophia can't stand it, we did something right. And when it came time for them to, I always taught them, illuminate the space you occupy while you have the miracle of life to occupy it. I don't think Vinny thought he had it in him to do that any longer, but he did graduate. I don't give a fuck about his grades, or any kid's grades for that matter. The school is an indoctrination system to make people worker bees. So I don't care. I told him I don't care about those grades, but don't be lazy, because if you're lazy, you're a detriment to society, and you can make it through high school in your sleep. And he did. And then 3 days before graduation, he went home. And the only thing that's keeping me afloat right now is, well, Sophie. Under no circumstance will I be abandoning her. It's not happening. Her mom. And this fight. I'm in it now more than ever. The blood of my son is on the hands of everybody who caused this. They split us up when he was on 24/7 suicide watch. He was just freshly diagnosed with autism. They had intimate details of my PTSD therapy. Systematically, I would watch them come check on me after certain things that they would pull that were supposed to break me. People that don't heal don't realize that healing's possible, that what I was saying wasn't lip service. They don't realize that. They thought everything I was doing was a sales tool. Integrity is not a sales tool to me. I stand in my fallibility. I can't be shamed. I've done shameful things, but they've made me who I am. So when it came time for them to use their usual tools on me, they didn't work. They didn't work. I didn't break. I still haven't broke. And I don't think Vinny broke. I think he realized that, well, would it have been different had they not in front? Yes, it would have. Because I understand suffering in a way that most people don't. You know, I have a deep visceral, also academic understanding of how trauma works, how the brain works. Why I have a deep compassion and empathy. When I learned how my brain worked and I could really feel it, I knew that that's the truth. That's how that works when you're triggered, and how this ruling class keeps us in this perpetual conflict cycle, so that we stay in our defense mechanisms. When I understood that, I understood everybody, and I gained a deep compassion for the human race. And Vinny knew it too. He knew it. And yeah, if I were there in the way I always was, and was with him through this first attempt, I don't think this day would have come, because I could have caught it. I can capture nuances that other people can't. You know, there's things that I'm very in tune with human nuance. If I have any genius to me, it's my ability to capture these seemingly mundane human moments and latch on to things that are important, and then respond when it's necessary. I had to do that for myself first, and now I'm trying to carry that outward with what I'm doing. That's how I dismantled the insurance industry. That's how I dismantled that foul courtroom, who now has the blood of my son on their hands. The death of my son is their fault. They intentionally, Maddin Hauser did. Maddin Hauser and the scumbags of URDS, they intentionally attacked when they knew I'd be at my weakest. Didn't break me. Put me in front of a judge, deeply embedded with the Oakland County Bar Association. He is a scumbag. He claims to be a scholar for the United States Constitution and Declaration of Independence. Everything he did in that courtroom was in opposition to that. He's a poor excuse for a fucking Federalist. And he's going to pay. You know, he's going to pay. He's going to be removed from that bench. You don't get to wreak havoc on an innocent person's life because you want to protect these attorneys who are part of your donor base, part of your little club circles, all your little mixers where judges and attorneys are rubbing elbows. You don't get to protect them, do a favor for them, and cause the suicide of a young boy who was already lost. You don't get to attack that. You don't get to attack my PTSD. You get to, but you don't get to win. So Judge Warren, you know what you did. You know you're foul. You know you shit on that Constitution and Declaration of Independence. You know that what you do is a for-profit. It's a for-profit corporation that profits from human suffering, and you have no problem with that. You've made it clear that when you established the e-file system, you established it so you can increase your conviction rate. Why? Because you're also the head of the budget committee for Oakland County. Can there be a bigger conflict of interest when the judge, who's supposed to be non-biased and fair, has an obligation to lock as many people up as quickly as possible to get these cases off his desk, to maintain that AAA bond rating in the county that Oakland County enjoys? You never have to go to, if you want to know where the corruption lies, you follow the money. You killed my son. Maddin Hauser, you killed my son. Scumbags of URDS, you killed my son. Everybody you turned a blind eye, David Coulter, you killed my son. Prosecutor McDonald, you killed my son. Troy Police, you killed my son. Roseville, you killed my son. Henry Ford, Warren Campus, you killed my son. FBI Detroit, FBI Cyber Division, Department of Justice Criminal Division, Civil Division, you killed my son. As you buried us in red tape, despite irrefutable proof of a judge and attorneys who used the system that we pay the taxes for for it to even exist, so that they can be the gatekeeper to our civil liberties. They committed the crimes, and then they used the system as a tool to circumvent consequences for them. You don't get more vile than that, and it happens every day in criminal court. Vinny knew. That's what I was fighting for, to make sure. The only reason we go into senseless wars is because we don't have any power anymore as the people. They've taken it from us, but we can take it back. And that's what Vinny wants. That's how I'm going to honor my son. I was in this anyway. Give me equanimity and liberty or give me death. But I'm more in it now than I've ever been. And it's hitting different. He was so fucking caring. Cared about people so much. He didn't like to see people suffer. Yesterday, he let the dog out, let the cat out, made sure they had food. Made sure he had plenty of time before his mom and sister got home. He left a note for his sister that she could see when she came home. It said, "The house is filled with poisonous gas. Call the police." And then there was a body in a bathroom with all the vents closed. He went peacefully. He went when he wanted to go, and I'll be honest. He did it like a man. He did it like he was raised to do it. I have no right to keep him here. If it was his time, it was his time. I wish it wasn't, but it was. And now I just gotta fight for. I gotta remember. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's why I can't take calls and I can't. I'm just posting and I'm trying to be so people know I'm all right. It's hard because I don't want to focus on the tragedy of this. And it's tragic, but on the flip side, it's not. Because what I think Vinny knew, what I was doing wasn't working completely. He was in this fight with me. And yeah, the ultimate deterioration of any mental state that wanted to keep him here was in part, if not the whole part, my absence. I wasn't there in the way I know I could have been and was. But there's no blame there. He was predisposed. He was suicidal, and he's been making plans since he was young. He doesn't like this world, and I don't like it either. But I'm a fighter, so I'm gonna change it. He was passive, even though he had to whoop a couple kids for bullying. He was like that. He had that in him. He was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. And I know he's watching me right now. And his sister, and his mom, his grandparents. I have a strong ally in the spirit realm right now. And I ain't gonna let him down. Or his sister. Sophie, I love you. You take care of your mom. I got some work to do. But they don't get to kill a teenager and walk away. Cowardly little news stations that are afraid of Oakland County and the power base there. Is this big enough for a story for you now? The blood of my son is on your hands too. I've had the proof since day one. This could have been done if that judge didn't want to protect these attorneys. Everything he did was foul. It's on record. Can't be erased. They tried to kill me. That's on record. Can't be erased. When I have the footage, I'll show the footage. Their names are with police. They showed up in my hotel trying to serve a warrant that didn't exist. The real police let me go at the end of the night after I outran them for 10 hours. Led them into multiple stores so they could be... All of this, it's real. That wasn't enough. That wasn't newsworthy. Judge on camera, abusing the system. Hall of Fame judge, self-proclaimed. That wasn't newsworthy. No, you're scared. You're scared. You rub elbows with these motherfuckers. My son's dead because this system wanted to protect itself by any means necessary. It threw our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence out the window, and my son is dead because of it. Maddin Hauser, I told you I was coming for you. Like a supersonic freight train on a hyperloop. And motherfucker, you're not gonna see me till I get there. You've already asked, all of you. You're not gonna see me till I get there. Judge Warren, Oakland County, Dave Coulter, Prosecutor McDonald, Troy Police, Roseville, Bank of America, like a freight train on a hyperloop. And when I get there, you're gonna know. And the system will change for our young. I know what I'm doing. Vinny knew what I was doing. And he made the greatest sacrifice. Because of the absence of his dad, he suffered. Because of autism, he suffered. He never really found a way to connect in this world, but he knew we loved him more than anything. He knew what everything we poured into him was. He just didn't know how to. The autism, The two lobes don't connect, and sometimes you feel detached from your body. That's why they want to die. That's why they want to run. That's why they have these emotional outbursts the way they do. It's because the two lobes can't communicate, and they disconnect from their bodies and the world around them. And that's how he lived. Pretty stoic, you know? The same people behind big pharma, big insurance, big banking, the military-industrial complex, big energy, and most of all, the scumbag attorney lobby that perpetuates all of this. You can gauge the wellness of a society based on the wellness of its children. Suicide rates at an all-time high. It's not uncommon for school shootings to happen. The entire fucking country is scared for its life. Literally. They don't know what's going to happen next. The kids have no future to look towards. We see perpetual wars popping up all over the place. They've named the Department of Defense the Department of War. I don't know if anybody really understands what the fuck that means. They're putting our kids in harm's way, and they don't have any plan to stop it. If we want to walk our kids into a future worth living that doesn't involve their slaughter and perpetual greed wars for problems they didn't create, we gotta fucking step up. I need you. Your kids need you. The world needs you. This is how I honor my son. At the end of the day, I know in my heart of hearts that him doing this as a sacrifice to push forward what it was he knew I was fighting for. It's a very real possibility based on the tact, the respect that he had when he left. He didn't, other than the broken hearts, you know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, it's his life. He's an adult. Turning 18 in July. Just didn't want to be here. Can you blame him? Can't just be yourself. 24/7 bullying cycle. That opportunities for kids are less and less. Education is shit in the wealthiest nation on the planet. We're dropping bombs, creating new enemies. That's not a future. No good grade, no school record, no keeping your head down and keeping your mouth shut is going to change that. That's what they did, and my son is dead. He's fucking dead. And it's hard, man. I got it in me to revert to the past. I got it in me. It's there. It's here now more than ever. But Sophia keeps me grounded. It took a lot. It took a lot to not show up at some people's houses yesterday. But that would shit on what me, Vinny, and Sophie said we were going to do. Give me equanimity and liberty, or give me death. The mission is intact. You won't catch me slipping. No, you won't force a breakdown. And yes, my son is dead. But rather than dwell in the tragedy, I'm going to honor who he was. I'm going to honor the 17 years he got to live on this planet and get love poured into him. Kid didn't want her to fly. Would have never heard her fly. He just couldn't connect. We're in a society promulgated on lies. And you knew it. Now, if you can stand in the face of lies and absorb the consequences in a society promulgated on lies, eventually the lies will tell on themselves. But you gotta have some things in your DNA and in your life experience that prompts that resilience and even the drive to want to do something that crazy. And so to have lofty goals like changing the entire system, you got to have, for me, unconditional love for the kids to the point where I don't matter in the grand scheme of life. Only the purpose that I'm driven towards does. Vinny wasn't a fighter. He didn't have to be. I can say that as a father. He never had to want. He never experienced poverty. Not in the way that me and his mother did. We did something special as co-parents that just wasn't supposed to be that way. We're stereotypically, statistically, we should have failed. But we made a choice to put our petty grievances to the side so our kids could have a better life than we had, and they did. Sophie still does. I mean, they've been to more countries as children. We did good by them. Vinny knew what he was doing. And he didn't do it as a coward. I believe he was a martyr, and he would never call himself a martyr, but he died for what he believed in, and that's what I believe in, truth. I believe the truth sets you free. I'll die for it too if I have to. I'd rather live for it. I would have rather he was able to live for it too. But we're all different. We're all different. And your kids aren't your mini yous. They're gonna have their path. All you can do is steady the arrow, but when you have to let it go at some point and let it be what it's going to be in this world. And that's Vinny's legacy. He stood up for truth. And when he couldn't get it, he didn't see a way. He made the greatest sacrifice. And I respect him. All my heroes died for what they believed in. You know, Tupac, Socrates, Jesus, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Joan of Arc. I mean, the people that I revere, that I read the stories of, they all died an untimely death to stand up for what they believed in, to stand up for their truth. Vinny didn't leave this place as a coward. He made sure that he wasn't in anybody's way, like he always does. Common courtesy. He went peacefully, and he went when he wanted to. And he gave his sister that future. He gave his mom some freedom to get out of the constraints the system has. He gave me the powder keg. For the movement, We the People, NTWR, for the premonition that I had that made me even consider allowing these people to steal what they stole. The premonition said, if you let them steal it, if you go through the motions, you're going to create something like you did against big insurance, but you're going to do it for the system. And this is going to be a launch. That didn't make any sense to me when I said it out loud, but I followed it. I've always been in tune with that compass. Not that I've always followed it, but it's always been there. It's been a driving force in me. Whatever that voice is that pulls me towards truth, infinite consciousness, whatever you want to call it, God, whatever that is, I've always had a strong inclination to move in that direction despite the consequences. And Vinny has that, and his was less encumbered because he was still very innocent, you know. So many worldly things he didn't experience, but I don't know that that's a bad thing, right? I wish I could have talked to him more, but we talked at length a lot. I still remember this conversation I had with him. It's Sophia. I think he was 6. Sophia was 3. And we drive by this pet store that we lived by at the time. And then he said, "Dad, let's go to the pet store." They always wanted to go to the pet store to pet dogs, and they loved animals. They love animals. I got to stop talking about Sophia in the past tense. I said, "Why do you want to go to the pet store, Vinny?" And he says, "I want to get a Schrodinger's cat." For anybody who knows quantum physics, you know the Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment where the cat, unaffected by consciousness, in a box with poisonous gas, lives in both states, both alive and dead, until consciousness deems it what it is. To the human, dead. To the ether, to the spiritual, alive and well. But I remember this. So I talked about the thought experiment with him and Sophie. And then we had, me and these 2 little kids talked for an hour and 15 minutes about heaven and hell, the metaphors of both. Light energy, dark energy, high frequency, low frequency. They understood. They might not be able to voice that in the way that I can, but they understood. He was a beautiful little person, man. Not so little. I wish I could have gone to the gym with him more. I wish the most important years of a teenage boy's life where he should have his father right there with him. These motherfuckers stole it. And if you think we're dealing with something before this force, I'm coming for you. But I'm coming for you in light. You're not going to make me revert to darkness. I'm coming for you in the way I said. But I'm coming like a freight train on a hyperloop. And you ain't going to see me, motherfucker, because you exist in dark. We're not even on the same frequency. So when it happens, don't say I didn't warn you. The blood of my son is on your hands. I'm coming to cleanse him. I love you guys. Vinny, I love you, man. Sophie, I love you. I love all of you. Even the pieces of shit. You will step into the light whether you want to or not. We the people, NTWR. I'm coming for you.